What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to be discussing the 4 newest Pokemon that we just seen in the Pokemon Presents that just aired earlier today. So we're going to go ahead and check that out real quick. But this is going to be a short video because we don't have too much information, but I just wanted to get this out there so people are actually aware of of what's going on with the DLCs and whatnot. But in case you didn't see the presentation or anything, you can watch my reaction. I'm going to link that video on the top card on the upper right corner of the screen somewhere, so you can go ahead and watch that and then maybe come back to this video to give my initial thoughts on the latest Pokemon that we're going to check out in a second. So anyways, let's check it out. We already seen 3 of the I'm assuming they're legendary Pokemon, but they could not be legendary Pokemon. I don't know yet, but those 3 are Munkidori, Okidoki, and Pheasantipity, which have the ability Toxic Chain, which I think I mentioned this in another video, saying that the Toxic Chain is a pretty nifty ability because any contact damage that they do to their opponent will instantly poison them. And I thought that was a pretty good ability. Now obviously it doesn't work for every Pokemon that it makes contact with, but it's still a good ability to have nonetheless. You could probably stack it up with other attacks like maybe Venom Shock or any other moves that does double damage when it's poisoned. Not sure what the other moves are, but yeah, leaves with a lot of open opportunities to deal heavy damage to your opponent. So I thought, having these abilities for all 3 of these Pokemon will be an interesting thing. But so we already know most about these Pokemon. The ones I want to really get into are the newest ones that we did see in the trailer, and those are the evolutions of Flapple and Duraludon. And going one by one, the names which we can actually see on Cerebi, and I'm surprised that the Pokemon website didn't have this updated yet. It may take some time, but thankfully Cerebi had it. Well, at least for the other Pokemon, not for these 2. But anyways, the first name for the evolution of Applin is called Driplin, and honestly, it makes a whole lot of sense, right? Because this resembles like those, caramel coated candy apples or whatever you want to call them. And I love those too. I love eating those type of candy apples. So yeah, it shouldn't came as no surprise that it was going to resemble something like this. I didn't even think about that. But that was a pretty good concept. I believe it still contains this dragon grass type, but it looks like its ability is Sweet Honey and Gluttony, which I don't know if those are good. Maybe Gluttony for the most part may be good for it, but nothing really too special about it. But it's just a new evolution that I guess they wanted to use for Applin, so we got it. As far as how to evolve it, probably we may have to have it hold a special item, which we don't know yet. So it's probably a new item we're going to have to obtain in the DLCs, and with that we'll hopefully get it to evolve into this thing. But anyways, not much is known about this yet. Maybe we'll get some more information about this later on. But moving on to the next Pokemon, we have the seemingly evolved form of the Duraludon, and his name is Arculodon. So basically it's just it's an arc bridge. It's originally a tower. Duraludon is essentially a tower Pokemon, and it evolves into an arc bridge essentially. So that's an interesting concept, but it retains a Steel Dragon type typing, and it has stamina and sturdy, and I know stamina is good because what's that Pokemon's name? Mudsdale, I believe, has that ability as well, which I believe increases the defense every time it gets hit. So with as sturdy as this Duraludon, Arculodon, whatever you want to call it, sturdy as this Pokemon is, I'm pretty sure it can be a very good tank of a Pokemon if you're using it competitively. So that's not actually bad. So you can use either or is actually pretty good, but I think stamina may be a most beneficial one that most players will use. But yeah, I believe this Archaeolodon is only available in the Indigo disc. That's the part 2 of the DLC, and I think Dribbling is in part 1. Also, I want to also mention that as well. So yeah, but those are the 2 exclusive Pokemon, and now we can get to see the other 2 exclusive Pokemon as well. For those that didn't actually do the whole Terra Raid battles with the newest legendary Pokemon that's from the Paradox, the Paradox forms, Walking, Wake, and Iron Leaves, that's the Paradox form of Suicune and the Paradox form of Virizion. Now we have more in these 2 new additions, and that is the Paradox Raikou, which is named Raging Bolt, and we have a Paradox Cobalion, which is called the Iron Crown. So those are interesting concepts. Iron Crown actually looks pretty good. The Raging Bolt actually looks very familiar in regards to what I've seen the past couple of months. I think somebody had, I don't know if I've seen it on somebody's YouTube channel, I just saw it as a thumbnail, but somebody had made a design similar to this Raging Bolt. And I thought to myself, I said, oh wow, I hope that's not actually the the concept of of the Paradox Raikou, but it's somewhat similar to it. I'm pretty sure somebody may know what I'm talking about, but it's interesting. The design is interesting. We don't know too much about this Raging Bolt and what its abilities are. Same goes for Iron Crown. Like I said, we might get some information later on once the Pokemon website updates everything. And yeah, I mean, design wise, I think I like the Cobalion a little bit better. Raging Bolt, honestly, just looked like a freaking giraffe. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. Like a lion and a giraffe mixed together somehow. I can't make good use of this. But yeah, it also assures me that we're also going to be getting the last 2 Pokemon out of this. So we have Suicune, we have Raikou, and we're going to get an Entei, a Paradox Entei, and then a Paradox Terrakion at some point. I don't know if it's going to be revealed. I'm pretty sure it will. Maybe later in the months, as we get close to these DLCs, we'll probably get more information on those 2 Pokemon. But for right now, it's just these 2. So yeah. Another thing we also got to mention is the Ogerpon, because I believe we've seen it terrestrialize, and it actually turned into like a big ass mask, if I'm not mistaken. So that's an interesting thing. So when they terrestrialize, they actually don't terrestrialize in the natural way that other Pokemon do. This one is actually very special. So this is an interesting one here. Again, we don't know too much about this Ogerpon, as well as the Terrapagos that we also seen in the game as well. There's still a mystery in regards to these Pokemon, so hopefully in the coming months, or maybe even next month when the first part comes out, we'll get some more information. The second part, still no release date for it, but my guess will be in maybe November, December-ish, because that's pretty much when the winter starts. So thankfully they're not too far from each other, like how it was in Sword and Shield. We had to literally wait 6 months for another DLC to, the second part of the DLC to come out. So that was a long ass wait, and I think they realized that. So yeah, these are the newest Pokemon and newest updates that we've seen in the Pokemon Presents. But I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on these. What do you guys like about them? What do you guys dislike about them? Let me know in the comments down below, and please be sure to subscribe for more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet content. I'm doing all these things as soon as they come out. September 13th is when part 1 comes out, and trust and believe me, I will be on this game, so I hope to see you guys there during the live stream. All right, I'm out of here. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.